Can you guard them?
Excuse me?
Can you guys guard them as a team?
No.
After watching their team lose on the court, NBA fans go through a more painful experience that we call the post-match conference. To endure the reporters who are either insensitive or amateurs is not an easy feat for any NBA fan. But the biggest trouble comes for the NBA players, who don't only have to sit through the entire conference, but also have to maintain courtesy whenever a reporter throws a dumb question at them. Here's our list of NBA reporters asking dumb questions, and NBA players like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant react. Number 6, that awkward Shaquille O'Neal mom question. Even if you aren't the biggest fan of Shaquille O'Neal, you would have to agree that he's the absolute life of the party. Other than his matchless skills on the court, he's known to be hilarious even when things aren't working out in his favor. So it's not a surprise that Shaq deals with idiotic questions in his own way. After having a splendid run with the LA Lakers, Shaq joined the Miami Heat to lead them to their first championship and his very last. It was clear that Shaq was reaching the twilight of his career, and no wonder he spent most of his 19th season on a Celtics bench. Perhaps the most awkward interaction between Shaq and the press came at his last championship for the Heat, when a reporter asked him the most idiotic question ever in NBA history. Corby Davidson asks Shaq, and we quote, "Let's just say that a snake bit your mom right here, right on the chest area. Would you be willing to suck the venom out to win the title?" Yep, someone had the audacity to ask that question aloud. But wait, if we've to trust anyone who can handle such mediocre questions, we will vote for Shaq. For a classic NBA press conference moment, Shaq iconically replied to Davidson that he wouldn't suck the venom out of his mother's chest to win the title, but he would definitely do the same with Davidson's wife. That answer was enough to shut Corby Davidson up for good. Number 5, Warriors series and the Houston flooding. Draymond Green is a fan favorite when it comes to gearing up for the NBA Cares Community Assist Award. He hasn't only donated $3.1 million to Michigan State, but he's also extended his support for social campaigns like anti-bullying and Lean In Together. So it's not a surprise that Draymond had his fair share of run-ins with the media, who tries to sell something controversial about him other than his positive side. And one thing we know about this outspoken 3-times champion is the fact that he isn't tolerable towards annoying questions. During a press conference after the 2016 postseason, CSN's Henry Wofford contrasted the Warriors series with the fatal flooding in Houston. The reporter implied that whenever there's a flood in Houston, Warriors win over the Rockets. As you can imagine, this statement didn't settle well with Draymond, who has actively worked for community service in the past. Needless to say, Draymond went off on the reporter for his insensitive remarks and even accused him of fishing a controversial statement out of him. Just an hour after the press conference, Henry Wofford was fired from CSN. Number 4, Russell Westbrook versus the media. Russell Westbrook is a triple-double machine in NBA history and also a 9-time NBA All-Star. Other than his title of the king of triple-double on the court, he's known for being cold, arrogant, and hostile to the media and anyone who isn't on his team. The Wizards are in for one cold season with Westbrook. Even if Westbrook isn't exactly considerate towards the reporters, any Thunder or Rockets fan would agree that the media hasn't been fair to him either. Ever since he was drafted in 2008, he has many incidents of having a row against the reporters, and Westbrook doesn't ever hold back. And we're just going to show Exhibit A. Westbrook was asked by a reporter if he thinks James Harden is a max player or not. Westbrook and Harden were playing together for the Oklahoma Thunder at the time, and the rumors of them having a falling out were becoming popular. It's true that Westbrook has denied such rumors explicitly during the press conferences, but that didn't stop the media from making assumptions. So when the reporter asked the question regarding Harden, Westbrook wasn't going to fall for the weak attempt to fuel his rumored rivalry with his teammate. He told the reporter that Harden is a great player and an excellent addition to their team, and that he isn't going to take any more questions from him. Number 3, lackluster offense or defense. 2014 will go down in history as the time when the Spurs finally outplayed the Miami Heat in every single NBA final game. Not even a single matchup in the Heat could defeat the mastery of Tim Duncan, and Tony Parker was unbeatable throughout the games. We can't forget the legendary games of Kawhi Leonard, the 2014 NBA MVP, whose defense was invincible in front of LeBron James. But let's talk about Game 3 that was won by the Spurs in a 2-1 overall series. Obviously, LeBron James and Wade weren't happy with the result, but they had to sit through the grilling questions of the press in the post-match conference. One question that made everyone laugh out loud came from the reporter Bobby Ramos, who might be the most idiotic reporter in NBA history. He had the audacity to ask, and we quote, "Is your problem your lackluster offense, or is it your lackluster defense?" First, let's get this straight. How did he come up with that question? And did he even watch the game? Just a quick recap. Miami Heat was terrible on the defense side as the Spurs were scoring 104 points on average, and Miami couldn't even total up to 100 points. Either Ramos had no idea how basketball works, or he didn't bother to watch even a single game when he got his NBA entry card. As expected, LeBron wanted to crack up at the question, so naturally he passed it on to Wade. And let's just say it didn't end well for Ramos. Number 2. LeBron's parental role for the Cavaliers. Kyrie Irving has a knack for proving his worst critics wrong. He's best known for his calm, killer style of play, and he's one of the best point guards in the NBA, and he's already a 6-time NBA All-Star. After winning the 2016 championship for the Cavaliers, Irving went on a short yet successful run with the Celtics. However, there's no doubt that the Cleveland Cavaliers made Irving into the NBA star that we see today for the Brooklyn Nets. But here's the thing. Even when Irving has made basketball a league of his own with a successful run at the championship and Eastern Conference, he still gets overshadowed by the former Cavalier star LeBron James. Irving has made it clear that he's grateful for the leadership that LeBron has provided to the Cavaliers, but that's about it. So when a reporter asked him, and we quote, "What type of parental role has LeBron played for you and your teammates?" it didn't settle well with Irving. Like all of us, he was visibly confused after hearing the question and took a second to respond. Irving clarified that, LeBron has been a great influence for the team on and off the court, but he has just one father, Drederick Irving. Irving has always been appreciative of his dad, who also works as an agent for him. Considering the fact that Irving lived under the shadow of LeBron in Cleveland, that question wasn't well received by his fans. Number 1. Kobe and the defense. Remember Game 1 of the 2012 playoffs when the Thunder blasted the Lakers? Russell Westbrook had a field day with that one as the Thunder outshined the Lakers in every facet of the match. Even the Mamba mentality failed in front of the striking offensive matchup of Westbrook, Harden, and Durant. It was clear that the Lakers weren't going to recover after halftime as Westbrook flirted around with a 22-point lead. Needless to say, Kobe's team couldn't manage to put up a strong defense against a brutal Thunder offense, and the final score was 119-90. So, to state the obvious, the Lakers had one of their weakest guards in the 2012 playoffs, and they were very well aware of it. But a reporter had to remind Kobe how bad the team was for the first game. During the post-match conference, a reporter asked Kobe if they could guard the Thunder as a team. Looks like he missed the entire game because the answer was a negative, and Kobe didn't need another reminder. Clearly, Kobe was annoyed at the pointless, unprofessional question, and he just replied with a no. After that, he just walked away. So the reporter didn't only miss his chance to ask Mamba a strategic question, but the other reporters also couldn't interact with Kobe. The early years of Kobe interacting with the media were always brutal. And that's a wrap for NBA reporters asking dumb questions from NBA players. Which of these moments is your least favorite one? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your fellow NBA fanatics. See you all in the next one.